remember. Agency. Come on, back.
People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
The frog can't stay in the water forever. And that's the most important thing. At some point, you have to finish the story. To finish the story, the frog has to get the golden ball. And one could say that the golden ball is actually the sun, which will come up for the new day. The frog has to get the golden ball and bring it back to the surface of the water. It must carry the most important thing, carry the seed of the new world to the princess so that it can grow. If that doesn't happen, there is no telling what else can come out of the water. If the frog stays there for too long, it will be eaten, or it will call some darker monster, because there are other things down there beside the golden ball, and the frog can tempt the Leviathan to devour it.
This is a place, and when we see each other, we can start playing together and working together. Those things you call commercials, I don't make those. People who want to play make them. And I don't know what my control is for it, especially that big moment.
Gentlemen, this is the elimination course. My calling is to keep men out of the ministry. I consider my test a success when the blood is 4 feet deep and the bodies are floating around the room.
That's amazing.
Now, we're trying to gain people's attention. Before, the people were able to commit to a follow. And again, I can't help but watch this and think, things are riding us. Things are riding us. And it's increasingly obvious.
Modernity sort of lured us into imagining we were this new stuff sort of bursts forth. And in Laurel Canyon, you have this tiny little group of people that are sort of working on this, and then, you know, in some ways, via technology, this stuff just spreads all out throughout the world.
It of course made me think about this little corner, because what doesn't? And it made me think about the little group of people that are just playing with things now.
And I thought Jordan Hall said it very well in the conversation, you know.
What's up, everybody?
In our globalized contextuality of 8 billion people, what things we do have in common with people from wherever is often shared media consumption, shared media consumption, shared media consumption. Like, I am a leaf on the wind, watch how I fly, speaks to everybody who is as deep into that show as I was. And so though it's like, and to understand what I'm talking about with that, I usually reference the next generation, which is the next generation. So with that, I usually reference the next generation, start. Brought to you by the Shadow CABAL. Thank you, McMo. All right. This is a stream called One Shotted with snake oil scans and studies on the title. Buddy, are you coughing over there? Son of a...
Immediately, I remembered, I mean, because I'm a devotee, a follower of Socrates, I remembered Socrates' daemonium, his divine sign that spoke to him. And all of this was starting to say, something else is going on here that doesn't fall cleanly into the two automatic categories of madness or demonic encounter, where people have, there's a whole continuum of where people have full-blown encounters like this to very, very things where they just have a felt presence of something behind their left shoulder and getting into what I think is going on behind that. And so...
happy, the owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just.
Oh, PhD level super intelligence. What is the date, and is it the new moon?
Today's November 20th, 2025. And yeah, it's the new moon. Perfect for some quiet stargazing later. What's on your mind for it?
Quit fucking flirting. We're on a show.
So, as far as just in my own mind, I'll get out and wave at the cars as they go by, and probably won't be robots in the car, but even if it was, say that it even was a robot and he waved back, and it's like, well, he made a robot happy. That's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. So go do some of that. I'm going to see if I can do some of that. We'll see you later.
Remember, everybody, people that comment on the Grim Grizz live streams are often suppressed by YouTube itself, and their comments will be invisible if you don't switch from top chat to live chat. Don't let YouTube decide who's the top chatter. Decide for yourself live. Thank you to Avriel Pilotson for all of that. There we have a free Rillian out there dropping emojis. Ooh, we got a big crowd. We got Paul Renee wanting a Denny there. We do that. There's the Denny Morris Denny. You can get him on a hat, as I understand it. We got a howdy and the V&A bubble from channel member Afrio. That's right. If you join the channel membership, Shadow Cabal, through the YouTubes, where I pay my stage fees, then you get the power to make the emojis in the chat. It's pretty fancy, What that? Owls? Hi, Cosmic. This guy, this CW Weeks fella, says GGTV still going strong. No, I'm limping along, and I was one-shotted, as you'll discover later in this stream there. So no, that's false advertisement. Strong is not the correct, but still going. Still going. Good to see you, Professor Luigi. We got a howdy from Joe Kraus. Howdy from Joe Kraus. What else? Jello to Ron Copperman. You always make me think of that guy in the sweater with the drinks and the ladies. What's his name? He did the detective show about drugging ladies. The Jello reference makes me think of that. Hey there, Mark. How do what? That? How to make emojis? You type : howdy : and then it magically appears in the Hive Mind chat for channel memberships, which you do not have with your. So why did I even put you on the screen? Hey, there's David Boostertail. What doesn't kill you makes you weaker. Okay. Speaking of you, before we give them savings throws, I think we'll do this. We'll go to today's presentation begins with War on Earth, transforming our view of the heavens. And this explicit clip thereof. What if I made you bigger? Oh, then I could click that. Hey!
I sort of made this thumbnail with like these satellite dishes because I was thinking about what this channel is. What this channel is and what this channel's for and how I'm using it. I remembered these number stations that were going on during the Cold War. The best theory is that they were used for espionage, where there's just all this random stuff that these shortwave radio stations was blasting around the world. A lot of it was just like reading numbers or playing music or this or that. Of course, we'll throw that to Grim Grizz. If you haven't watched Grim Grizz's
What does you throw that to me? Son, oh dear. Voice mode. I need you to say something very clever about the numbers stations, like they did a little bit in Stranger Things, maybe.
Numbers stations, huh? Those eerie radio signals broadcasting strings of numbers, letters, or melodies to nobody knows who. Spooky, right? Like in Stranger Things, where they're hinting at secret codes, maybe Cold War spies or something way weirder, like an alien hotline. Clever bit. They're the ultimate cryptic pen pals. Endless static whispers. No RSVP. Just numbers that say, "We're watching." Creepy, yet kinda cool. Want more trivia?
No, I want to tie it to, I think those number stations were probably sent out to people like Desmond from The Lost, where he had to put in numbers every day, except in whatever numbers he had to put in was the ones he heard on the radio, and not the.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
Recovery, Blue Church, card of the show, bringing us back to sanity and relevance and inter-community moment sharing. There are so many of you sharing this moment across the globe live with me from this room in Oklahoma with the moldy. Okay, and then the King of Spades, which brings us to this next part which Boostertail started. It's all your fault, Dave.
Of course, we'll throw that to Grim Grizz. If you haven't watched Grim Grizz's conversation with Dave Boostertail, that's a must watch thing. And
you heard it here, folks. It's a most watched thing, and that signals to me that he won't be covering it at all on the main channel, other than to say that. But we do have this opportunity to show you how easy it is to become a Reaper for the Discord. You see, there's this button here, these 3 little buttons down here. You hit the clip there.
Anyway, so Sam and
and then you pull it back to the part you heard with this little slidey bar. You see me sliding the bar? Don't look if you're driving.
Grizz's conversation with Dave. If you haven't watched Grim Grizz's conversation with Dave Busatil, that's a must watch thing. Anyway,
and then you have to move this bar to not have anyway on there. Like this there.
Watch thing. If you
that, and you got
thing. If you haven't watched Grim Grizz's conversation,
and then you say most watch, and you do this share clip button, and then you go all the way over to the Broken Clock Tower Discords. Here's the Start Here directory, which what it looks like. But you go down here to this room called the Clip Stream, and you go Control V, Enter. No, that's not the copy. This one, and yes, we need to what? But look, there's a nice Ko-fi Go you can stop by when you drop off the clip. But that's how to be a Reaper, and be all fancy pants. Have special role here, whatever. Now for some savings throws. In the corner has been swamped with a mind control.
Mind control.
Mind control. Mind control.
Savings throws for mind control. So this is how bad I have failed. Savings
I understand you have a respect for serious play. Yes, I have a ritual with my channel where, like reminding fish that they're in water, I remind people that there's a lot of mind control out there, even if you just consider advertising. Like,
So this is how bad I have failed.
I give you a savings throw against the mind control I use against you. So A, you know I'm using it against you, and if it works, I get more points. And B, you get the chance to resist it. You base your resistance on your choice between your will to survive, your social networks, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart.
Mind control will continue in a moment.
All right, it's the new moon savings throws for November 2025. And in case you didn't know, it wasn't covered in that explainer video. If you make Hive Mind chat now during live stream, you get +2 to savings throws. If you make replay comment on stream after it's done or somehow while it's happening, you get +5 to next stream saves, +5 to your savings. So it's very valuable. And I'm seeking particularly for this stream. This is temporally out of pocket. But replay comments I'm eliciting for this stream include if you were gonna get and consume Lion's Mane supplement, what company would you get Lion's Mane supplement through? Leave that in the replay comments for a +5 to next stream saves. But for these ones, survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Oh, survival. We got a pair. Survivalists. Trinity for you. Bonuses still apply. That's 7 you'll need to make half damage, though. Socialists, on the other hand. Natural 1. Your bonuses do not apply. You're taking full damage from today's stream. And I'm not surprised. Wisdom folks, however, half damage for you. That's Paranine's 18. Hard folks pairing it up with the socialists for the natural 1 today. No bonuses for you, but you can get some for next time. And the Indigo kids with the solid carbon. You got a carbon. I'm calling it carbon now. You got carbon, Indigo kids. You got a natural 1, Ezra. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you all. Well, thanks for meeting.
Broken family. Broken family. Shut up, bro.
Working on it.
What? What are you doing? We want to do a new, but it's there. You go. There we go. I need the first part of the Pandora story all the way up until she opens the box.
Long ago, the gods wanted to punish humanity for stealing fire from them, thanks to Prometheus. Zeus ordered Hephaestus to craft a woman from clay and water, named Pandora, meaning all gifted. Each god bestowed her with talents, beauty, charm, cunning, and a curious spirit, but Zeus added a twist. He gave her a sealed jar, warning her never to open it, as it held all the world's woes. Pandora, crafted to be irresistible, married Epimetheus, Prometheus's brother, who accepted her despite warnings. She lived in their home, the jar always nearby, its contents a nagging mystery. Every day, Pandora's curiosity...
All right, she eventually opens it, and everything terrible flies out of it. But, after everything terrible flies out, you find hope inside. Hope in the form of the general grind, delicious Colombian, Ethiopian, whatnot, from Evansville Coffee Co. This is how I steer. This is me chasing this thing, you know? Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this thing, you know? Yeah. That's right, folks. Get your own. The general grind. Recite the thing. We grind the grind, and the wheel keeps turning. In brotherhood, in general. Get yours now. Great Christmas gift. Great Christmas gift. What do we have left?
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
And now in a bit that's sure to have what parts of it clipped out for copyright purposes, there was a weird coincidence what has happened, considering my discussion there with the one David Busatil and the timing thereof, as what has made an appearance, the eighth of clubs, on the Jon Stewart show was the following.
Get a pizza.
My God. Could it be any clearer that John Podesta and his brother are running a family-owned child sex ring? What else could "would love to get a pizza" mean? That was...
And I just thought that the timing of that was terribly suspicious. Oh, that's a different tab. What are you doing?
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
A room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness. What I told you is that I promised you that I would tell you how this can be used against you. And the thing is that it's used against us now all the time. And I want to give you a certain example of this, right? And so in the 1980s, there was what we call the Satanic Panic, if you remember. And so pastors in churches became very concerned with the with the satanic imagery that appeared in rock and roll, that appeared in popular culture. And what grew out of it was a kind of frenetic energy about notions that there were these like secret satanic cults that were everywhere in the United States, that were, you know, kidnapping children, that were doing blood rituals, that were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And, you know, they didn't seem to have been able to find proof of that massive network of satanic churches that were doing all these kind of crazy stuff. And so what happened is that
But that's correct. They seemed to fail to find evidence.
In some ways, the debunkers were able to debunk it. And so they debunked the satanic panic, and they told us, oh, this is all ridiculous, this is all nonsense, this is all conspiracy theory, and therefore all of this doesn't make any sense. You pastors, stop saying that, oh, there's all this satanic stuff now. The question is, was the rock and roll they were talking about satanic? And the answer is, of course it was. What the hell are you talking about? Of course the rock and roll they were talking about was satanic. You know, like it was using satanic tropes in order to get attention, and in order to invert morality, and in order to encourage rebellion, and in order to do all these things. It was all there in the music. Everything that is satanic was there in the satanic music. You know,
phones and pot and mind control.
We've made it close, therefore, then, to the title and the delivery of the thumbnails. Because it's never clickbait here, baby. Snake oil scans and studies. And one shot. And coming up. That's where we're at in the show. That's the part. This first bit we're going to cover is rather interesting. While I am merely reacting to something that's currently on the YouTube, I somehow feel it's a threat to my channel to do so. But here we go. This is the six of spades from the Jux deck, currently available on YouTube. There's the story of Del Bigtree on the John Brenner Bruniverse, and let's just react, man.
It's a very powerful film, and it asks a very important question. Why is it that not a major medical institution in the world or a government or health agency in all this time has ever been able to do a study comparing vaccinated to unvaccinated children where the vaccinated came out healthier? This study's been done
What? You're saying that if the vaccines made people healthier, then the long-term studies on the children would indicate that, and there is no such study? Should I check with my Grok?
times. This one in the center of this film is by the most reputable institution, and it's the biggest one of its kind. And it set out to prove all the other smaller studies like this wrong, and ended up proving the same thing. That's reproducible science. When your enemies try to prove you wrong and they prove you right, then I think you're onto something. We're onto something here. We've been onto something. This is a serious issue.
That sounds inconvenient. And you say it's at an inconvenient study website, right? Let's see if we can we type that in. Study.com website. Oh, now it works. Yesterday it didn't work, you son of a... Anyway, there's more. Melor, if you're looking for evidence to not inject you know what an adjuvant is? Did you know that like there's an adjuvant, and an adjuvant is a fancy word to say it makes your body think it's being under attack. And you're gonna do that to your baby a bunch of times? What?
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
Going down a bit.
Now we have a report in the Hive-Minded Upcycle Club knows a thing or two about those number stations. You guys can investigate and interrogate as you see fit. We have a Cypress deck card of the show. Cypress? Which is it? Is it up? It's Cyp. Anyway, it's this deck with the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades, which brings me to this point here. I do not know. I don't know if it's intentional signaling or complete ignorance, but it's standard knowledge among certain people that the brick background indicates a Masonic influence. So keep your...
I'm not a cat.
And then, this is what is this?
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
All right, so this guy is, I will say, Asmongold is potentially more dangerous than Nick Fuentes. And here's this bit I thought worthwhile.
Game eventually shut down. While games that overuse dark patterns alienate their users and eventually see...
That's at 24. Here's the intro.
This is one of the main guys that created Path of Exile. And he made a YouTube video a few days ago called Dark Patterns, Are Your Games Playing You? Uh-oh.
And this is Asmongold, and he made the video a day ago called Path of Exile Creator Explains How Modern Games Play You. Where was it? 24-ish, yeah.
felt far less worthwhile in comparison.
No.
The game eventually shut down. While games that overuse dark patterns alienate their users and eventually see the opposite of the good retention they were aiming for, the primary victims of dark patterns are the players themselves. Players affected by dark patterns find
Spend their
themselves
money.
compelled into behavior they wouldn't normally perform, whether that's making purchases they hadn't planned for, logging in on days they hadn't intended to play on, grinding content they wouldn't normally choose to grind, referring friends who might not have an interest in the game, or having to set an alarm at 4 a.m. to tend some crops. These actions have both an impact on their day-to-day life, but also reduce their enjoyment of the actual game itself. They often lead to feelings of anxiety, fear of missing out, commitment pressure, guilt, and frustration. The scary thing is,
what really multiplies this is whenever you have a social obligation. Like, if you guys ever had a time where like you're in a WoW guild and you're expected to like farm X, Y, or Z thing before you're like ready for the raid, and then like there's a social pressure for you to continuously like do some like brain dead, really boring activity for like 50 hours Oh my God, I hate those so much. Those are like, that's like the worst type of game design. Can you imagine being a kid now? You grow up on an iPad, your leg muscles haven't developed because you can't move. So you have trouble walking upstairs. Then you finally get to elementary school and you're going and you're fucking, you can't even read anything. Your brain's been, microwaved by Coco Melon. You finally are in 5th grade and you can kind of write your own name. You go to middle school and the kids there are doing Galaxy Gas. Then you start paying attention to these video games, and there's like a video game where, you're getting groomed and there's all this weird shit in the game.
He's the most successful version of me, really, that was created in the last 40 years, I think, like financially successful. But the insider view that's foreign to boomers and us older folks is really useful to me. And he's making a really important point about what children face these moments.
There's like adult themes in it, like Roblox. Then on top of that, there's gambling mechanisms, and there's like this picture of this weird guy named Epstein. What is this? Who is this guy? And it's like, no, I'm serious. This is how these games are. And then you're doing Galaxy Gas in middle school. You're opening up your Instagram and you're watching TikToks of AI generated Hitler speeches. You're trying to like become a rapper and a content creator as well. Like, I mean, you're totally like, oh, and by the way, and every single other, Hitler one, you go from Hitler to like ads for like fucking gambling websites for crypto that are like advertised towards children. And then like, so you're trying to take your parents' money and gamble it so you can get your family out of debt, but you lost all the money and like you're 12 years old. Like, it's just the level of fucked kids are now by society is really kind of sad.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going to. I'll show you later. Look, the gator, obviously.
Hey, yo!
I just feel bad for this kid in my thoughts. Yeah, it's okay.
Desmond Gold is evil. No, I know. I didn't say evil. I said dangerous. Dangerous. And his danger is relative to how true neutral he actually is. He actually is. This is snake oil scans and studies. The scan one, the study one we did. Here's what one-shotted me, though. A fella named Daniel Amen, for fuck's sake, has a book out. So it's the book of Daniel. Amen. But he was on Tucker. He's apparently a snake oil salesman. He had this to say.
They attacked you all the time. Really? What do they say? If I post something on one of my social media sites, they'll call me a charlatan and hysterical and that I should get high. And they should take my medical license and all sorts of things.
Take your medical license?
Yeah. Because they'll do anything to try to shut me up. But it's like, how do you not talk about?
To the extent they call him a snake oil salesman, it's because he does these things called the C-spec scans, where they shoot radioactive material into your brain, and then they scan it, and they cost about $3,500 a pop. And this guy sells them for a living. So
the truth. And it's like, well, how do you know? It's like, well, I look at the brain, and if your brain is not right, well, you're not right. Yeah. I just didn't know until we had breakfast a minute ago that kind of damage was or any kind of damage to the brain was more subtle damage, not, head injury damage, but damage from drugs, for example, was detectable on a brain scan. Yeah, so interesting. So SPEC, the study we do, gives you this really beautiful 3D look at activity. And a healthy scan shows full, even, symmetrical activity, with most of the activity being in the cerebellum. So the cerebellum is the back bottom part of the brain.
It makes it feel like you're driving from the back seat. It's fascinating. But where's the line I'm looking for from this guy? He said mass. No, we got that. Apparently, I have to open up the transcript again.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
I'm sure we would have been there if I'd have just let it play.
Which hates me, spends $3 billion a year on marketing. So how are they different from the Sacklers at Purdue Pharma then? Like lying to people about the health effects of the drug they're profiting from. I mean, it seems like the same. It's a weapon of mass destruction. Marijuana.
There it is. There's the hot quote I was looking for. So in case you didn't know. And now, all right, go ahead. Well, the thing of it is, there's the two different strains, and I think that's true of the indica, and that they've crossbred them, and you can't have straight sativa anymore is a crime against humanity, and that that if we took the emotive fMRI headsets, that we could gather enough data as you can tell enough about an engine by the way the sound changes it makes when you pour different gas in it. You could learn a lot about the engine that way, and if we did that together as a pyramid scheme, we'd all be. But okay, the one-shotted part. He talks in here about the things you can do to damage your brain. He's like tobacco, marijuana, excessive coffee, mold in your house. And I'm just like, all right, like, what would it be like if I had a healthy brain then? Wouldn't that be fun to find out? And it's just like, yes, this is what it's like when the lion eats you, you know? Welcome. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stephanie's got brain has rattle. Alex said, so they really did find WMD in Afghanistan. Yeah, it's the poppy. They harvested it. The 33rd minute. All right, let's see what he was doing. The commercial. They had a commercial for the dog food. Is at the 33-minute mark. And I guess that's probably the most important thing. Oh, don't forget, I want in the replies where you would buy your Lion's Mane supplement. What? God, how could I not train? Wait, what was the one shot? It was that, like, all the things on his list of stuff you could do to brain damage yourself, I was currently doing, including that death mold. death mode, which is really bothering me, I guess.